G'day guys, welcome back. Today I'm going to show you how to make Turkish Pide on your Kamado Joe. So first things first, let's make our dough. So we'll start off with 300 grams plain flour, 5 grams of white sugar, 4 grams of instant dry yeast, 3 grams of pink Himalayan salt. We're just going to mix those dry ingredients around with our hand. Now we add 20 grams of softened butter. You just want it soft enough to be pliable. Now we just scrunch that through with our hands. Once that's all combined, we add 180 grams of warm water. Now it is a good idea to weigh the ingredients with these types of cooks. That way you're guaranteed to get the same result every time. Now we just mix thoroughly with our hands, making sure all our ingredients are combined. Moving your hand in the dough around the bowl, making sure you get all those ingredients. Once the bowl is clean, it's time to remove your dough and pop it on a floured bench or cutting board. The flour just makes it easy to work with your dough and stops it from sticking to your work surface. At this point, it's time to knead our dough. Now, if you do have a mixer, you would have done this whole process in the mixing bowl. But today I'm showing you how to do your Turkish Pide if you don't have a mixer. But if you do have a mixer, chuck it in your mixer and you'll be done in several minutes. If you don't have a mixer, it's just going to take longer, a little bit more elbow grease, but you're going to get the same result in the end. You just want to work that dough. It can take a good 14 to 15 minutes to get this right. Once the dough starts to warm up, you'll feel it becoming more pliable, and you may even hear a little pop inside the dough, which is a good sign. So once your dough is looking nice and clean and it has a little bit of bounce to it, we'll cut that into 3 equal sized pieces and form 3 individual dough balls. Once we've done that, we just leave it on a floured surface, cover it with a tea towel and pop it aside. Now we only have to rest our dough balls for a couple of hours, so this is the prime opportunity to start up our Kamado. Now as you can see, we've already got our ash basket fully loaded with lump charcoal. We're just going to fire that up today with a triple all-natural fire starter. We're going to let that burn for a good 15 minutes. Now it's time to add our internals. Divide and conquer rack, grills in the top position. Now you don't have to use your grills in these types of cooks. You can just use your X-rack in the very top position. But today I wanted to give my grills a really good clean, so it's a prime opportunity to do so when doing high temp cooks like this. Deflector plates. And I'm using 2 1-inch pieces of box steel as spacers today. Now it's important to use spacers between your deflector plates and your pizza stones with these types of cooks. We're going to be running at 340 Celsius today, so you don't want that direct heat on your pizza stone. You want it on your deflector plates, and you want an air gap between the two to help air circulate. Otherwise, you're going to burn the hell out of your pides. And of course, our pizza stone. Now we just close our dome and make sure our bottom vent is fully open. We're also going to open our top vent fully and crack our top slider. Now sometimes this can get a little bit sticky. From all those low and slow cooks, all that fat and goodness just goes up and sticks everything together. So all we have to do is give it 20-30 minutes and come back out, and then we can quite easily crack that top vent. And we'll leave that around 10% open. It's been around 1.5 hours and our dough balls have doubled in size. Now we'll just lightly flour our bench and grab a rolling pin. Lightly flour your hands and give your rolling pin a dusting. This helps stop your rolling pin from sticking to your dough. Now using a lightly floured rolling pin, we're just going to roll out our dough balls into oval shapes. Now of course you can do any toppings you like on your pide, so today I'm going for my 3 favourites. Good amount of fresh mozzarella, baby spinach leaves. Now we just form our pides, and it's really easy. We just basically pinch both ends and fold in the sides, making basically a boat or a canoe. It's really that simple. Once we've done that, pop to the side, repeat the process. Fresh mozzarella, pepperoni, jalapenos. Oh yeah. And third but not last, we're going for a straight up cheese, which we will dress with rocket at the end. Now our Kamado's at temp and it's been stable for a good 20 minutes. It's time to cook our pides. And you can see how easy it is to transfer these onto the Kamado. You just pick it up from each corner and pop it directly onto your pizza stone. Now this is a 2-stage process. We're going to cook these for 3 minutes, then we're going to remove them from the Kamado and baste with butter. And it's important when cooking at these high temps that we burp our grill. And all that is slowly letting the air out before we open the dome fully. Otherwise flames can burst out of your Kamado and burn you. Now having said that, if you don't want to cook at these high temps, you don't have to. You can cook these at 250 Celsius and still get fantastic results. Now we just baste these with butter, add fresh feta to our spinach, and then return them to the Kamado. Now our total cook time for these is only around 8 minutes, so it's not something you can walk away from. You've got to keep vigilant. Now we've finished our cook, we're just going to baste one more time and garnish with black sesame seeds. This really takes it to the next level. If you serve these up at your next barbecue, fuck yeah. Thanks for watching. I'll catch you next time. Now we'll just mix those. Now moving your dough around the ball, moving your hand and your dough around the bowl. Once the bowl is clean, it's time to remove. Once the bowl is clean, it's time to remove. Once the bowl is clean, it's time to remove. Once the bowl is clean, it's time to remove your dough. Once the bowl is clean. Once the bowl is clean, it's time to remove your. Once the bowl is clean. Fuck. The flour just helps. The flour makes the dough ball easier to work with. The flour makes the dough easier to work with and stops it from sticking to. Fuck. The flour just makes it easier to. The flour just helps. The flour just helps it. And of course you can put anything you like on your pides, but today I'm doing. Now of course you can do anything. Now of course you can add any toppings you like to your pides. So today I'm going for. Now of course you can do any. And of course you can fuck me.